Victoria Johnson of Nevada FFA News Channel 3. Today we'll be doing a special report on renewable fuels. Now over to Taylor Schumacher for more details.
Today we will be taking out to Lincoln Way Energy, Burke Corporation, and Kowser's Feedlot to learn more about renewable fuels and its impact on our world.
Hi, I'm Austin Menz on location with Will Kowser at his feedlot for Nevada FFA Channel 3, and he's agreed to talk to us about some of the co-products used in feeding cattle.
Well, Austin, it's a real pleasure to talk with you today, and I think I'd really like to explain to us what opportunities have been given us here in the state of Iowa with renewable fuels and the co-products that brings with it. When we look at what happens just basically here in Story County in Nevada, Iowa with Lincoln Way Energy, we can now take that kernel of corn, take the starch out of it, make the ethanol, and then turn around and bring the protein and fiber back to the livestock industry. So in a sense, what we have here today is something that's very sustainable. It's something that brings economics to Iowa and to the people of its town and its country, and it's also able to bring national security. So we look forward to the opportunities that it brings us here in the feedlot industry to be able to lower those rations, to be able to compete in the industry with cattle feeding and livestock production, and do it sustainably, but yet being environmentally friendly.
This is Taylor Schumacher from Nevada FFA News Channel 3. Today we're at Burke Corporation to study CO2, which is a co-product of ethanol production. Here's David Sutherland, who works for Burke. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
So when did you start using CO2 to refrigerate your meat?
Well, Burke has used CO2 to refrigerate meat, freeze it solid here at this facility since 1974 when they actually started over here. It's been used the entire time.
That's cool. So how much CO2 is used per day?
We use somewhere between 450 to 400,000 pounds per day, so about 10 to 12 tanker loads.
Okay. Do you plan on continuing to use CO2 in the future?
Well, as a company, we've evaluated other means of refrigerating meat quite a few times, and we've thought about going completely mechanical. But even if we did, we'd still use CO2 because you can inject it directly into the product to cool it down, and it'll gas off or sublimate, and it doesn't leave any residue in the product, so it's very good at that.
So if you would switch over to mechanical refrigeration, is it more cost effective than using CO2?
Right now it's probably a break even. The biggest things are going to be what's going to happen with carbon emissions and how they're going to cap those in industry. That could drastically affect the cost of product if we have to buy carbon credits or we have to sequester it in other ways, which means mechanical will become a lot more attractive at that point.
Well, there you have it from Burke Corporation. This is Taylor Schumacher. Thank you.
This is Victoria Johnson live on site at Lincoln Way Energy with production manager Travis Harrison. How many bushels of corn per day do you utilize?
Currently we're grinding roughly 63 to 64,000 bushels a day, which is an annual rate of about 19 to 21 million bushels of number 2 yellow corn.
And how many gallons of ethanol per day?
Currently in December we're kicking out about 174,000 gallons a day of ethanol, which is a monthly record for us here at Lincoln Way over the past 4 years, which will equate to a monthly production of 5.3 million gallons.
This is Victoria Johnson, Nevada FFA News Channel 3. Welcome back to the Nevada FFA News Channel 3 for a summary of our special report on renewable fuels. As we have seen, today's capacious and efficient ethanol plant is a vital part of our economy. Each bushel of corn can produce almost 3 gallons of ethanol, and the corn oil can be recovered for a multitude of markets. Corn produces ethanol, a fuel, a feed grain to produce food, corn oil for energy, and CO2 refrigerant. All of these create jobs and add to the value of our grain.
Well, that is all for tonight. Thank you for joining us. This is Nevada FFA News Channel 3. Good night.